All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Yahawah been a true name of the Heavenly Father. YAHAWASHI been a true name of His only begotten Son. I also want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, blessings and salutations unto the elect of Yasharahla, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the hopeful elect, the Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and preaching through the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but are of the nation of Israel on their father's side by blood. And want to get into a quick lesson. I was having a conversation with some of the younger brothers earlier, just speaking of how, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI has Esau in a trick bag. Just speaking a little bit about the history up until now, because Esau's whole goal is he want that blessing back, okay? But as everything else is, when it comes to him, it's artificial. So what he's doing now is artificially trying to take that blessing back, and that's why we're at the end of the world. As we wait, Salaki, I gotta say it like the elder brother Mawatazak. The last seconds of the last days, man. And he's been ruling for quite some time. Okay. See, he was ruling as the Greeks and ruling as the Romans. All right. Fell for a little bit and then started coming back into power in during the Renaissance period. Okay. As we know, Renaissance meaning rebirth. And that's when they did the iconoclasm and was whitewashing the paintings and was able to control religion a little bit more and coming up with, changing history a little bit. And so ruling from about that time, okay, and up until this present day, and we're speaking about the Edomites, the so-called whites, all right, because we know we done been through slavery within there, lost our heritage within there. Now we're woken up, okay, in these last days, and now in these last seconds of these last days, the Lord is revealing who Esau is. The Lord is revealing how Esau operates, what Esau does, and the world is starting to see it for themselves a little bit more. Especially with DJ Trump being in office, and he's causing tension throughout the earth, and he's causing tension and creating and having people create alliances, which is biblical prophecy. All right. All these that bend the bow, shoot your arrows upon Babylon, which Babylon is America, because there's going to be a third world war. So just speaking to them how, Esau is comfortable. All right. He's comfortable for the most part in the sense of how long he's been ruling and how far the Lord has allowed him to come. Okay, because the Lord could have been took him out, but everything has to play out in his time. All right. Now Esau on his side, he's looking like, oh, I'm almost there. I almost got this MOTB mandated, because that's going to be his way of claiming the Lord's creatures. Okay. So I wanted to jump in Psalm 7, and I'm going to start at the 9th verse. It says, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Right? It says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is it that followeth. Okay? Because if you look in this society today, everything is just messed up. Okay? If you're a person living on this earth today and you don't think things are out of order or messed up, all right, then just stay in that mindset, basically, because I don't know what to tell you, okay, except look closer, but everybody just does what they want. There is no order. Kids out of order, women out of order, men out of order, governors and presidents and governments is out of order. Everything, all right, that's why it has to be a reset button. Okay, you got all of the obesity all-time high, murders all-time high, this and all of that all-time high. It's this place needs a reset button. All right, and that's why the scriptures say, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. It says, but establish the just, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and the reins. And that's what it is. Because the righteous is being tried. They're going through those trials and tribulations. All right, getting out their impurities. We're being tried to, Lord willing, be of the elect. Okay, because when the Lord takes this devil down, he's going to raise up his elect. He's going to bring salvation to his elect. And they're going to be the first fruits to start out a new beginning, a new world. Okay, a new heaven and a new earth. All right, what they're artificially trying to establish, putting a chip in everybody, and you having to literally go to them for want of all things. If you don't comply, they just cut your chip off or whatever the case is. Okay, trying to create 15-minute cities. All right, pretty much have the world to themselves, which is pretty much our blessing. That's all the nations are going to flow into us, man. All the nations are going to follow our ways through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. That's what's coming and promised to us. So they're doing it artificially on the left-hand side. It says, my defense is of the Most High, which saveth the upright in heart. The Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. Yeah, the Lord ready to bring judgment upon him, but he's the power of his word. Okay, you read in 2 Ezra 4:37, he said, everything is numbered and measured, and he's not going to change it up for anybody. Everything is going to happen when it's supposed to happen. All right, and how it's supposed to happen. Now, the beautiful part is seeing it manifest. Okay, how we see as soon as Trump got in there, he's signing all these executive orders and showing his pride, man. Which a lot of nations, they like, hey, man, we ain't this ain't the old days, man. We've been working out too. You ain't as buff as you used to be, America. Hold up. You better chill out. You see what's going on with China. Okay. They're pushing back. All right. Verse 12, it says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. And I want to read that in the NLT because it brings out a beautiful point. It says, if a person does not repent, the Most High will sharpen his sword. He will bend and string his bow. All right. Verse 13, I'm going to read in the KJV and NLT. He says, he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Now, what does that tell you about? Remind you about, Oppenheimer. I have created I was just thinking about that. The instrument to destroy, or the instrument of death, I believe he said. Salakia. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. That's what his quote was. All right. Now, when you read in the NLT, verse 13, it says, he will prepare his deadly weapons and shoot his flaming arrows. This is talking about YAHAWASHI. Does that mean he's going to come down himself and shoot flaming arrows? No, it's talking about he's put the spirit on these scientists, and they've created these nuclear bombs. That's why these nations are increasing and advancing nuclear capability, because this has to happen. This is the reset. This is the second death pursuant to 2 Ezra's Salakia, not 2 Ezra's 2 Peter's the 3rd chapter, man. Okay, because the first death was the flood. The world got too out of order, too wicked, and the Lord hit the reset button. Well, now he's about to hit the second reset button. Okay, verse 14, behold, he travaileth with iniquity and hath conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. This is Esau's MO all day, man. It's hard to believe anything. The brother made a beautiful and a simple point the other day. He said, we live in a society where when it comes to business, you can't even trust the businessman, because everybody's trying to get over on everybody and get money and get the best out of everybody. For the most part. All right, you go to a car dealership, they're willing to sell you whatever. It don't matter. Oh, you can't afford that? Well, how about this one over here? Yeah, and then they know what the problems is wrong with it, and they know who can afford, these little dealerships, these buy here, pay here's in the hood and shit. They know Jake gonna have to just keep coming back and coming back, getting the cars because the ones that are being sold is breaking down. And they'll sell it as is. All right. This is just, that's just one example amongst many. All right. Verse 15, which is the point. It says, he made a pit and digged it and is fallen into the ditch which he made. And this is what's happening now. Okay. In a sense, and it's going to happen ultimately when he think, as Job speak about, when he's about to fill his belly. When Esau thinks that he's about to complete his mission, he's about to create this system, all right, this NWO. The Lord is going to take it right from under him, man. Okay, so this pit that he's digging is him trying to establish that system. Okay, him allowing any and everybody to serve whatever God, him allowing our women to have power over, women in general to have power over men, children to decide if they want to, change their bodies without parent consent. Okay. That's just a few amongst many things. But this is how the devil's society is ran. This is the same society that he offered YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm going to take that delayed gratification. I'm going to go through what I got to go through so I can earn what I'm supposed to earn and do it the right way. And that's our goal as well through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Okay. It says, verse 16, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pat, which is upon his own head. All right. So them creating these weapons, these nuclear missiles to put fear in the other nation's heart. Well, the other nations have them now. These are going to be the same weapons that's going to fall upon their heads. All right, this is going to be the same weapons that's going to take their society down. These are the same weapons that the Lord had the men prophesy about, that they wrote about, that we read about. And now we living in these last seconds of the last days, and we see it manifesting, and it's so beautiful, man. All right, it is so beautiful. The Lord is bringing all of this together, and I'm going to end it on this precept. I got to get this is one of my favorite precepts, man. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 17. It says, for when men will not believe that thou art of a full power, thou showest thy strength. And how is he showing it? He's manifesting these prophecies. What he written thousands of years ago is coming to pass. All right. The fact that he's putting in the minds of the hearts of these kings, and they're making certain decisions that's lining right up with prophecy. And that he got this man, Esau, all right, this nation ruling in these last days, and actually think they about to fulfill their wants and what they think that they need. They think they about to get that blessing back, and the Lord's going to snatch it right from under, snatch the rug from right under their feet, man. Okay. It says, when men will not believe that thou art of a full power, thou showest thy strength. And he also doing that through what? Those chariots, baby. All right. He's showing his power. They're going to have to fight against those things. The YAHAWASHI, they're on our side, because we've heard and read about some of the pilots that's been up in the air with them, and they just vanish and they just move like nothing that Esau can create. That's the power of the Lord. Right. And the scriptures speak about in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, that lasers are going to be shot from them and turn people into dust. Shout out to the War of Worlds movie, because that showed a good depiction of it. A good example. It says, and among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest. So he allow us to feel more bold and be more bold when he manifests his power. When we see these things, when we see the scriptures coming to pass, and the prophecies manifesting, and the chariots flying through the sky, and them chasing them and can't catch them, and how all of these people throughout all the earth is starting to see the chariots. We've been talking about chariots for over a decade. All right, through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. But we living in a day where Esau has pretty much allowed it to be easy to have a camera on your phone. Okay, and everybody's catching them now, you know, and that's just, you know, before they actually reveal themselves. All right, so want to once again say, call all y'all about Shem Shy, man. The Lord is beautiful. He's he really allowing this man to dig this pit, and he's going to dig it so deep, right? So deep to reach his goal to where he's not going to be able to get out of it. Before he know it, he's going to be 16 feet down and can't get out of that. Can't climb up out of that hole, man. All right. And then you know it's going to come down up in that hole, man. A nuclear warhead, baby. Hey, so with that, you know, Lord willing, you was edified. Lord willing, we allowed to endure into the end. Once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.